Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, let us continue our study on the anatomy of earthworm. Yes, children, so far in this lesson, we have discussed about a different kind of organ system in the earthworm. So we have completed digestive system, excretory system, and also we have discussed about the kind of reproductive system present in the earthworm. So now it is time to discuss about one more organ system in the earthworm, that is nervous system. So nervous system is a very important system present in the earthworm, because any kind of stimuli uh, sent from one part of the body to another part with the help of this nervous system. So the earthworm also consists of um, sensory organs to sense the any changes happening around it. So the sense organ connected with the nerves, so the stimuli will send to um, different part of the body with the help of the nervous system, right? So the nervous system is very sensitive type of nervous system in the earthworm. So this nervous system constitute a cerebral ganglia, then a ventral nerve cord, then segmental ganglia. So these are the main organs what we can observe in the nervous system of earthworm. So the first thing we are going to study is the cerebral ganglia. So what do you mean by ganglia? So ganglia is nothing but something what the brain like structure, right? So somewhat the advanced brain, advanced ganglia we are calling as a brain, but uh, the earthworm consists of cerebral ganglia. This is located in the anterior region of the body, and the nervous system also consists of the ventral nerve cord, and it also consists of the segmental ganglia. So let us talk about each of the organs. They are forming the nervous system in the earthworm. Yes, the first organ we have in the nervous system is cerebral ganglia. So what is the position of cerebral ganglia in the earthworm? So it is actually located in the anterior region of the worm. So anterior region is nothing but the where mouth is located in the earthworm. That region is called as the anterior region, right? So like in our body, how the brain is located in the head region, similarly in the earthworm, the cerebral ganglia is located in the anterior end. You can observe in the diagram. So the cerebral ganglia is located in the anterior region and it acts as a brain. So not it is a advanced brain like us. Somewhat it control the all neural activity in this worm, so that the cerebral ganglia is acting as a brain here, and this actual organ is connected with the ventral nerve cord. So there is a nerve cord, that means a tube like structure runs on the ventral surface of the worm. So that structure is called as nerve cord, right? So nerve cord is gets connected to the nerves, so that it form a network throughout the body to um, collect any kind of stimuli signal from the sense organs, right? So the nerve cord present on the ventral surface is directly get connected with the cerebral ganglia. Clear? And the one more organ what we can see in the earthworm nervous system is the ventral nerve cord. So nerve cord is nothing but it is a tubular structure, right? So this tube like structure is located on the ventral side of the body. So ventral side is nothing but towards the belly region, right? So on the ventral side there is a tube like structure will be present, that is called as a nerve cord. So this actually extends throughout the body. That means in all the segments we can see the extension of nerve cord, and it is located just below the digestive tract, right? So we have already discussed about the alimentary canal, digestive tract. So just below the digestive tract we have a tubular structure. This runs from anterior end to till the posterior end. So that tubular structure is called as the ventral nerve cord. So in the anterior region, the nerve cord bifurcates. That means it divides. Bifurcate is nothing but the nerve cord divides in the anterior region and encircle the pharynx region. So pharynx is a part of digestive tract, right? So some of the nerves, they bifurcate and they encircle the pharynx region and form a structure called as the nerve ring. So the formation of complete nerve ring takes place with the help of cerebral ganglia, then by the bifurcation of nerve cord. So this is a unique type of structure can be seen in the earthworm, right? So the nerve ring formation takes place by the bifurcation of nerve cord in the pharynx region, and that bifurcated nerve cord is actually get connected with the cerebral ganglia and form a ring like structure. So this ring is actually present around the pharynx region. Understood, right? So the nerve ring formation can be seen in the earthworm. So this is formed by the nerve cord and cerebral ganglia. So this is the unique type of structure can be seen here. Understood? So that the any information can be easily sent from nerve cord to the cerebral ganglia. So cerebral ganglia is just like a master organ in the nervous system, right? So any decision with regarding the movement of the organism or any other response what the earthworm is giving with respect to the stimuli, that is actually taking place with the help of the cerebral ganglia, right? Yes. Let us move to the one more organ, that is segmental ganglia. So this is the one more organ can be seen in the nervous system. So in each of the segment, so this segmental ganglia is present. So we have seen this cerebral ganglia is just located on the anterior end, right? But the segmental ganglia is present in each segment of the body. So just on the surface of the nerve cord, in each of the segment, a structure, a ganglia is present. That ganglia is called as a segmental ganglia. So that earthworm consists of ganglia, that means somewhat brain-like structure in each of the segment, right? So what is the help of these ganglia in the segment? So segmental ganglia is just like a um, control organ of that particular segment. So in each of the segment, any this thing a function taking place, that is actually decided by that particular ganglia, right? Say for example, uh, one earthworm is lying on the floor. Just if you touch that worm with the help of stick, it starts moving, right? So how it starts moving? Actually, the segment, each of the segment consists of like ganglia. So that ganglia receives the signal, and it will send that signal to different ganglia, and finally the message will goes to the cerebral ganglia, right? So any changes happening around the earthworm in each of the segment for sensing, they consist of the ganglia. Understood? And the one more function of this segmental ganglia is it helps in the coordinated movement of earthworm. So in the earthworm we can see the setae is present, S-shaped setae is present in each of the segment for the locomotion, right? So each segmental ganglia coordinated with each other to enable locomotion. So as I gave you the example, if you touch any part of the earthworm, the entire worm will move, right? So because the ganglia coordinated with each other to enable the locomotion. So one segment is connected with the another segment with the help of this segmental ganglia, so that any information will be easily sent from one ganglia to the another ganglia, one segment to the another segment with the help of these segmental ganglia. Understood? So this is how the nervous system perform function in the earthworm. So cerebral ganglia is like a brain, and the segmental ganglia will collect the information regarding any stimuli from the outside, and it send it to the cerebral ganglia. So the finally the decision is taken by the cerebral ganglia. It causes the movement of muscles, right? So this is the actual function of nervous system in the earthworm. Then here we can also see the presence of, yes, the sensory organs are also present in the earthworm. So if you take the example of human body, so we have eyes, ears, nose, skin and tongue for sensing the stimuli, external stimuli, right? But in case of earthworm, there is no eyes and ears. Instead of that, it consists of some of the receptor cells. So these receptor cells are present on the body surface. That means just below the epidermis, it consists of the receptor cells. So these cells are very essential for distinguishing the intensity of light. So the high intensity of light and less intensity of light can be detected by these receptor cells. So earthworm somehow recognizes the changes between day and night, and also these receptor cells help to feel the vibrations in the ground. So sometimes some of the vibrations happens in the ground, so those vibrations can be easily detected by these receptor cells, right? And also the earthworm consists of chemoreceptors. So what do you mean by this chemoreceptors? Chemo is nothing but chemical. So for reacting to the chemical stimuli, the earthworm consists of chemoreceptors. They are also called as taste receptors. Understood? So the chemical stimuli is actually detected by some of the receptors. They are named as chemoreceptors. So these kind of receptors are actually help the organism to sense different stimuli in its atmosphere. So chemoreceptor help to react to the chemical stimuli, and receptor cells, they actually help to distinguish the intensity of light, and it help to feel the vibrations in the ground. So these sensory organs are actually located on the anterior part of the body. This is a very essential thing we need to observe here, right? So the sensory organs like receptor cells and chemoreceptors, they are located on the anterior part of the body. Anterior part is nothing but the where the mouth is located, that a part is called as the anterior part, right? So these sense organs are located towards the anterior part of the body. This is what called as cephalization. So like in our body, how the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, they are located in the head region, in the similar way, these sense organs in the earthworm are located in the anterior part of the body. This is called as cephalization. Clear? And let us move to the last part of this, is the significance of earthworm. So earthworm is very useful animal. It is commonly known as farmer's friend. So why it is called as farmer's friend? What is the use to farmers by this organism? Earthworm, we know it actually lives in the soil by making burrows. So in order to make burrows, it dig the soil, right? So by this action, it makes the soil porous. Porous is nothing but holes. Holes will be, lots of holes will be created because of the earthworm. So this is very useful to the plant roots. So when the soil is porous, the respiratory gases can be easily exchanged. So the roots can easily exchange the respiratory gases, and also the plant root can be penetrate to the deeper region of the soil. So it is possible only when the soil is porous. So you just imagine when the soil is very dry and it is not porous, the plant roots feel difficult to penetrate towards the deeper region, right? So the porous soil is very useful to the plant for the respiration as well as for the penetration of root to the deeper region of the soil. Then one more significance of earthworm is it increases the fertility of soil by a process called as vermicomposting. So earthworm is a detrivorous animal, right? So it feed on the organic matter present in the soil. So while eating, it take up a bit of soil together with the organic matter and it will digest the food. Then the undigested solid waste eliminated out from the body and it is get deposited in the soil. So that solid undigested waste material is very useful to the plant because that will increases the fertility of soil. Clear? So this process of increasing the fertility of soil is called as vermicomposting. So these are the main significance what the farmer is getting by the earthworm. So because of these two reasons, earthworm is called as farmer's friend, right? And also one more significance is earthworm are also used as a bait in game fishing. So in game fishing also earthworm is used, right? So these are the some significances of earthworm. Thank you.